Hello, Scott Marcus here with your weekly bit of positivity or inspiration or life lesson learned. I don't really have a name for this series yet, but that's the idea of it, though. It's all positivity, and it's at times maybe reminding us things that we know, but it's always good to hear a positive thing again. This time, I want to talk about, have you ever had a job that you just couldn't stand? That it was kind of soul sucking every time you went into the office. Honestly, if you've only got one on your resume, then you're doing pretty well. I think I've got maybe three as the years went by, and I had a lot of amazing jobs too. So I don't want to dwell on the negative at all. But sometimes you got to take a job because you got to make ends meet, and that's all there is to it. Well, when you get into that world, it is so easy to not be able to see anything outside of that world. Uh, it is so easy to feel like this is my entire life. I go to work, I get exhausted and worn out from this job that I don't actually care about, and then I don't have energy to go home and do anything for myself, do anything creative, do anything fun, do anything rewarding on any kind of a social level. And maybe that even extends into the weekend, and the next thing you know, it's Monday and you're back at it again. Um, Back when I had my first one of these types of jobs, I knew I didn't want to stay long, but I also couldn't leave the job. I needed to make rent. I was living in LA. I was new to LA, and that rent can be unforgiving. So I went out, and what I did was I got myself something that I kind of think of as a window to the outside that I was able to look out of, quote unquote. Not a literal window. Didn't go to a hardware store, but I got something that showed me a glimpse whenever I needed it of my future life or my goals, something that I wanted to do that was for me. I think of it as a window because I think of Tom Hanks in Joe versus a Volcano. He's going to that just industrial, gray, drab, dark place. And I have had a couple of offices with no windows, and this was the first one of them. What I did, and this also shows you how long ago this was, the Hollywood Creative Directory, actually, this one's the Hollywood Representation Directory, 2008. So this is a long while ago, but I still have this because it is a symbol to me of remembering to look for outside. So how I used this, by the way, if you're unfamiliar, they used to make these huge books of, like, in 2008, these are all of the different agencies that existed. And you see how small the type is. This is for management and agencies. Let's see. I guess business affairs and stuff that doesn't apply to me, publicity companies, casting directors. I'm definitely not calling up any casting directors, but agents, managers, entertainment attorneys. What I would do is when I was feeling at a low point in the day, which could be multiple times a day, I would just call the next agency. Look for agencies that actually had some sort of appeal to me because they're looking for writers. And I would just call them up, introduce myself, ask when they might be looking for new writers, because that's what I was interested in, what the process might be like. And that's it. There was not really a goal that I'm going to get an agent at all, but it was just an opportunity to do something that wasn't about the job. It was something that was about the future that I wanted to have. And just when you see this, you see all of these places that I could potentially call. There's so many opportunities there, and you just need one to hit. Now, this was what it was for me. It's going to be different for you, what your window to the outside, to the next good thing that you're going to have. But it's important to take that step, even when you're especially actually, when you're in a job, when you're doing something that you're actually not all that excited about doing. And in fact, it feels like it's sucking your soul, and it's hard to see a world beyond this place that you're in right now. I have had so many times, I'm very blessed and happy to say that I've had so many times where I just feel like, oh my gosh, life really did work out for me. I hope that doesn't sound arrogant, because I hope you all feel that at times. But the thing is, you never in those moments think back to the bad times, which is good. Live in the moment and appreciate it now. But one time it struck me that I'm like, man, I wish I could time travel back to one of those bad times and let myself know how good it's going to be. Obviously, you can't do that, but what you can do when you're in this dark time is find a way to continue to remember the positive future that you have and what little thing you can do, even if it's just something, it was a 5-minute phone call and it lifted my spirits and it got me through the next chunk of the day before I had to make another call. But it was all a positive thing. Nothing directly came from it at all for me, other than helping me get through the day and remember that there is a bigger world out there. There is a life outside of this job that I don't like right now. I am quite curious. Have you ever had to do something like this? What did you do that worked for you? I would love to hear. Share this so that other people can possibly see the comments and learn something, take something from it as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back every week with a positive idea like this, as well as other discussion about creativity. What are you working on? I'm working on a book right now. I'm very excited about it. It's been both a struggle at times, but usually very fun. I still have a lot to learn. And a deadline is coming up quick. So you'll be along for that ride as well. I'd love to hear what you're working on. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.